Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jaywalker. Today, ghost story for a Saturday, haunted hotel part 2. What the heck is going on out in the hall? So today's story is another in my series of hotel stays where we've had creepy stuff going on. And I had forgotten about this particular experience until I was looking at places to go, maybe investigate, do a little digging on, see if I can figure stuff out, and share them with you guys here on YouTube, as just part of like local legend type stuff. And I'm like, oh wait, hold on, I forgot. Yeah, we had an experience here at this hotel, and it was used to be the Shilo Inn. That's what it was when we stayed there. It's currently the Holiday Inn Express, and before it was the Shilo, it was the International Dunes Hotel. So let's go back to 1978, which was when it was the International Dunes, and going to August here, and so there was a family staying at the hotel. They'd been staying there for a little over a year. They paid apparently their bill, daily in cash. No one. It was kind of one of those weird situations. The husband, father, named Emmanuel David. His wife is Rebecca. They had 7 children. They were staying in the hotel. As I mentioned, they'd been there for a year. He was the leader, kind of this cult-type religious organization here in Salt Lake, and they, no one was really sure what he did as far as where it goes, but he was being investigated at the time for wire fraud and embezzlement. And on August 1st, he had taken a borrowed van, gone up into the mountains, and killed himself via carbon monoxide poisoning. 3 days later, on August 4th, still under threat of investigation, the wife, Rebecca, took their children, I believe there were 7 of them, up to the 11th floor, along with 3 stacks of hotel chairs, and then started to throw her younger children off of the 11th floor. Had the 3 older children jump off using the chairs that they had brought up, and then jumping herself. And apparently there were people down on the street. This is in downtown Salt Lake City. It was busy. It was apparently right at starting to work time, in the morning. And there were people out there. And apparently there were people because they had seen her throw the kids off, yelling at her to jump. Very sad situation. And scary and weird, and very, very interesting. Makes for some beginnings of some paranormal activity, I would imagine. So you've got the father, dad from carbon monoxide poisoning, mother, and all but one of those children die from an 11-story fall. Jump from the top of this hotel. There was one daughter, 15-year-old Rachel, who survived. Now there was some disparity in some of the early newspaper reports that said it was one said it was Rachel, and then another one said it was another daughter. It was 11 or 13 at the time, and then 1993 newspaper article, so 15 years after the fact, said it was Rachel, who was 15 at the time, and it was his oldest daughter that survived. She was at that point confined to a wheelchair. I'm not sure how things were otherwise, but she was doing in 1992 this article, or 1993, this article that came out was doing an interview with Entertainment Tonight at the time. And so, yeah, so, and I'm not sure 27 years later, I haven't seen anything more about whether she's still alive or not. She would be close to 70 at this point, so who knows. But some of the activity that kind of goes on, and this is what we experienced while we were there. The big thing is the sound of children running up and down the hall. Some of the other things, it's really just kids type stuff, almost pranky things, you know, the sound of children running up and down the hall, knocking on the door, you know, kind of doorbell ditching type stuff, you know, people knocking on the door and going, but, you know, there's no one there doing it. And so, yeah, we never had so much of the doorbell ditching, you know, never heard any of the knocking, but we did hear the sounds of kids out in the hallway, which was just weird because there was no one there. But yeah, that's our story. Something, you know, another little caveat with this, and one of the reports that I read, one of the articles, Danny Elfman, who, you know, composer, wrote the Simpsons theme, was the frontman for the band Oingo Boingo back in the 80s. He stayed in this hotel pretty consistently as he and the band made their way through Salt Lake. It was basically every time he came through, he would stay there. And supposedly this is again one of those things that just kind of rumored, but the song Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo was inspired by this hotel. Truth? I don't know. But it's a rumor and a good one. Thanks for joining me on today's walk. We'll see you soon. If you like it, subscribe, share, like the video. We'll see you soon.